Fellow Liberians and members of the diplomatic corps, this is Dr. Daniel E. Cassell, Vision and Standard Bearer of the People's Liberation Party, PLP. I bring you greetings in my name, for and on behalf of my family, the People's Liberation Party, during the celebration of this new year. I wish you all a spirited, blissful Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2022. My fellow compatriots, the year 2021 was marred with extreme poverty, economic backwardness, lack of respect for the rule of law, barrage of injustices, violation of the constitutional rights of citizens, ritualistic killings and unexplained deaths, flaunting of ill-gotten wealth by our president and his confidants, depletion of our country's wealth and resources to benefit the elites and those at the helm of power, attack on critical voices and perceived enemies of the state, clamping down on opposition politicians, the provision of crumbs as salaries to our already struggling mothers, fathers, sisters, daughters, and sons who are serving in public service and continue to feel the worst of a shadow economy, while those closer to power walk away with fabulous salaries and benefits. The elevation of the spectator's role being played by Liberians in their own economy, despite the professed and deceitful promise made by the president when he was inaugurated in January of 2018. Cronyisms, partisanship, amongst many others. The economy of our country today continues to be in the hands of foreign business entrepreneurs and owners, as our government officials, particularly the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, doing nothing but only to sit supinely and draw a hard-to-understand graph on a piece of paper depicting the growth and development of the Liberian economy. Since the inception of the we-led administration, our country, Liberia, once considered as the sweet land of liberty, continues to linger behind other nations across the African continent in terms of economic growth and development, due to the failure of the regime to recruit some of the best brains to advance our country's economy, instead of Mr. Talking Tom and those who wine and dine with the president and serve as conduits in looting Liberia resources to do so. Our citizens, including sellers of bitter balls, pepper, dry goods, and others who only depend on the selling of their goods or produce to provide for themselves and their respective family members, do not have access to microloan opportunities to improve the businesses in their own country. But public officials, who are the ones having the biggest share of the pie, are having access to loan opportunities, depriving these poor Liberians from acquiring said. The vast majority of Liberians are unemployed, while few others have mustered the courage to gain vulnerable employment by engaging in petty businesses like shoes shining, salvaging dumpsters for fairly used electronics or materials to sell and put food on their tables, and many more. Our youths continue to remain jobless, a situation that compels them to drop out of schools, universities, and colleges. Some of them even engage in unwholesome practices due to the lack of job opportunities to sustain themselves and their respective family members. In the public sector, selective jobs are provided to only those chanting CDC battle cries, bootlicking, or heaping deceptive praises to the president and his confidants, while competent, qualified, and experienced citizens are denied job opportunities. Foreign companies are being considered by the current government to undertake lucrative government contracts, leaving owners of struggling Liberian companies to go for years without acquiring a single contract from the government, even though they have the capacity to compete with their foreign counterparts. Fellow compatriots, Liberia is yet to witness the influx of foreign direct investments since the Weah-led government came to power in 2018. This is due to the high level of corruption among public officials requesting kickbacks as conduit for establishing concessions in our country by some government officials who are closer to the presidency. Growing wave of insecurity and disrespect for the rule of law, among others. While Liberians were dying one after another because of the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, we witnessed our heartless representatives and senators allocating to themselves the amount of $30,000 United States dollars each for legislative engagements. My fellow Liberians and compatriots, hope is not yet lost. Let's hold together and muster the courage to take away our country from these recircled, wicked, and evil-minded, bloodthirsty politicians who continue to suck our blood and country's resources, preserving nothing for our youth and unborn generation. Therefore, I call on you all to come on board and join the liberation train. Just as God sent Moses to deliver the children of Israel after spending 400 years in captivity, I'm here and ready to liberate and transform this country under my leadership of the People's Liberation Party, the PLP. I've come not to take away your resources or the resources of our country, because God has blessed my family and I already. I have come because God has heard your cries and seen your tears, and has sent your Moses to deliver and take you to the promised land, which is a new Liberia. Despite the harsh realities of the difficult economic and living conditions our citizens are faced with, now more than ever, it's about time that we collectively work together with concerted, intentional, and spirited efforts to ensure that our country regain its pre-war status among the community of nations. Long live the Republic of Liberia and its peace-loving citizens. From the People's Liberation Party, the PLP, we say the time is now and we are ready. God bless you all. Happy New Year, and I thank you all.